The modern United States stands as a titan in history. Its might palpable with over 800 military bases and accounting for 37% of global military spending. This colossal power has woven a vast web of interconnectedness that has fostered an era of extraordinary prosperity and relative peace. To grasp the depth of America's global influence today, one must journey back to its humble beginnings, when the nation had yet to assert itself on the world stage. In its first 70 years, the U.S. expanded its territory and influence across North America, pushing to the Pacific Ocean. Amid a wave of expansionism that came at a horrific cost to indigenous populations, early Americans grappled with profound divisions over whether to stretch their reach beyond the oceans. This tension boiled over after the Civil War, with figures like Secretary of State William Seward advocating for America to rise as a global power. Although he successfully orchestrated the purchase of Alaska from Russia government to manage this burgeoning economy, as power coalesced in the federal government, expansionist leaders like McKinley found it easier to extend American influence abroad. The pivotal moment arrived in 1898, when McKinley led into war with Spain over Cuba. Despite significant domestic dissent, the resulting victory shattered the remnants of the Spanish Empire, granting the U.S. Puerto Rico, Guam, and the Philippines. Within just 2 years, America annexed Hawaii. His ambitions to acquire Greenland and Iceland, and annex Caribbean territories, met staunch resistance in Congress, reflecting a strong anti-imperialist sentiment. Among many, these voices feared that greater involvement in global politics would necessitate integrating inferior populations, stoking anxieties that tempered the nation's imperialistic desires. Yet, a transformative force was brewing. In the late 1800s, the Industrial Revolution ignited explosive economic growth, demanding a centralized Wake Island and American Samoa, and later claimed Panama Canal Zone and the Virgin Islands. This rapid expansion firmly established the U.S. as a global player. During this time, the nation began wielding its influence to safeguard its growing commercial and military interests, installing friendly regimes in countries like Nicaragua and engaging in crucial diplomatic maneuvers regarding Western presence in China. World War I highlighted America's newfound clout. Its intervention proved decisive in ending the conflict, and President Wilson emerged as a key figure at the Paris Peace Conference, striving to reshape global politics through the League of Nations, a bold initiative aimed at fostering peace and cooperation worldwide. However, isolationist sentiments still loomed large in American politics. Congress ultimately thwarted Wilson's vision for the League, sealing its fate. As the Great Depression took hold and the threat of Hitler loomed, America turned inward, focusing more on regional matters than European crises. Yet, the country's extensive global entanglements rendered complete isolation impossible. The rise of Japan, with its imperial ambitions in East Asia, posed a direct threat, culminating in the attack on Pearl Harbor and drawing the U.S. into World War II. This conflict would irrevocably alter America's global standing as the sole major power to emerge unscathed economically. The U.S. held a unique position to dictate post-war peace. It championed the creation of the United Nations, establishing a framework of international law to prevent wars of conquest, hoping to resolve disputes through dialogue rather than conflict. Alongside the UN, Bretton Woods Agreement was forged, laying the foundation for a global financial system to avert future economic crises, resulting in institutions like the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. However, the post-war world was fraught with tension. The Soviet Union emerged as a rival, its expansionism in Eastern Europe threatening the U.S. vision of a democratic world. This fear spurred the formation of NATO, a military alliance designed to counter Soviet encroachment. The U.S. adopted a strategy of containment, committing itself to staving off the spread of communism globally. This new ideological struggle led to unexpected alliances with nations like Saudi Arabia and Israel, as well as covert interventions in numerous countries, from supporting dictators to backing rebels in Afghanistan and Nicaragua. Throughout the Cold War, the U.S. became deeply embroiled in global affairs, navigating a complex tapestry of alliances and tensions that spanned the globe. In this ever-evolving landscape, America's role as a formidable power continued to grow, shaping world politics for generations to come.